A wash sale can be one of the more confusing rules when it comes to reporting your capital gains. In a nutshell, here's the rule. If you sell a security at a loss, and within 30 days before or after that sale, buy the same, similar, or related security, the loss is disallowed and cannot be claimed. These two actions, the sale and the purchase of the same or substantially similar security, are called a wash sale. However, the wash sale rule doesn't prevent you from claiming the loss later. The loss is deferred until the repurchased shares are sold and no other wash sales are made. When reported, both the cost basis and the holding period are adjusted to account for the initial trade in each following wash sale. Like many tax concepts, this can be a little tricky to understand. To help illustrate this rule, let's look at 3 examples. Here's the first example. On Monday, an investor purchased a share of XYZ stock for $100. Tuesday, the stock fell to $90, and the investor sold it for a $10 loss. Then on Wednesday, he repurchased the stock at $92. No additional wash sales were made, and our investor sold the new shares a few months later. When he reports these transactions, both the cost basis and the holding period are adjusted. Here's how this works. The cost basis of the repurchased shares needs to include the disallowed loss. So the cost basis, $92, is increased by the amount lost in the wash sale, $10, for a total of $102. Additionally, the holding period is adjusted by adding the holding period of the original shares. With these adjustments, our investor is able to report the loss from the original trade. That's how the wash sale rule works when you buy and sell the same number of shares. For our second example, let's see how the wash sale rule applies when you buy more or fewer shares than you sell. Say this investor purchased 20 shares of XYZ stock at $100 per share. He sold all 20 shares at $90 for a loss of $10 per share. 15 days after the sale, he repurchased 10 shares of XYZ stock at $92 per share. How do you think the cost basis would be adjusted in this situation? When the trade is closed, the $10 loss per share is disallowed for the 10 new shares and is added to the cost basis. However, on the 10 shares that weren't repurchased, the investor could claim the $10 loss per share. Finally, to help illustrate the length of the wash sale window, let's look at an example where the loss was disallowed because a purchase was made before the wash sale. In this case, an investor purchased 10 shares of XYZ at $100, then purchased another 10 shares a month later at $110. A week after that, he sold the original 10 shares at $90. Once the trade is closed, how would he adjust this cost basis? Because he purchased 10 new shares of XYZ within the wash sale window, which includes 30 days prior to the sale, the day of the sale, and the 30 days following, he would not be able to claim the loss. Instead, the cost basis of the new shares would be adjusted to $120, and the holding period would be adjusted as well. These are just 3 examples, but wash sales can be more complex, particularly when it comes to identifying what qualifies as a similar or related security. Ultimately, reporting wash sales and identifying what counts as similar securities is the taxpayer's responsibility. Brokers don't have the same reporting requirements. They are only required to report wash sales for an individual account and for investments that have the same CUSIP number, such as identical bonds or stocks. Therefore, it's up to you to consider all other possible wash sales across all your investing activities. If you have any questions about wash sale reporting, it's a good idea to talk to your tax advisor. And remember, it's up to you to report wash sales correctly.